Well, a good morning, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon from wherever you are in the world, and welcome to Take Charge of Your Health Naturally podcast interview. It is my great pleasure today to share this platform with Karen Anderson. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about her in just a moment. As some of you know, my special work is as a specialist in the management of lymphedema. So I help a lot of patients, which dovetails so beautifully with the work that Karen does. But I'm really thrilled to have Karen on board. She has, I wouldn't say a lifetime of experience, but she has enormous experience in working with clients who I would say have lived through very traumatic experience on the health platform for themselves. And she started what was called the Foundation 96. So I'm not going to tell you about that. I'm going to ask Karen to tell you her amazing story of how it got to that and what this amazing 96 does for everybody. Welcome, Karen.
Thank you for having me today, Margie. Yeah, it's a good story in the sense that we've changed how now we're going to care for cancer. And that's been something that I thought about 23 years ago. With that, I was an exercise physiologist, and we had all of our different types of chronic diseases with Parkinson's and MS and arthritis and osteoporosis, etc. But we didn't have the cancer clients. So on talking to oncologists and talking to other cancer clients and saying, why are you not exercising? We soon learned that the world wasn't ready for it. We weren't in enough research, and we didn't actually do that. So what we did was brave of us in 2002 to start working out how do we exercise people safely with cancer. I started in leukemia, which was an interesting field, and then by 2006, we had all cancers and the oncologists were referring to us, which was fantastic news. Research came through, and if we continue to fast forward, by about 2012, we started to see that cancer and exercise was now something normal. So I got to a stage of believing what we needed was to link all of the health professionals together. So look at everything physical, nutritional, and emotional. So the psychologist, the physiotherapist, the physical therapist, dietitians, etc. Let's find all the people that are registered, certified, licensed, and specialize in cancer. And we built a directory, and that's where Foundation 96 was born in 2014. We now have 1,207 businesses in 19 countries, and our health consultants will help people in that area. So we are now going to hopefully bridge the gap. And that was the original idea, was to make that part of the service.
That's amazing. So moving forward from there, your clients, where do you find them, and what would a client do who was watching this? How would they connect with you, and what is your advice to them?
Yeah, so where we find the clients is a lot of it social media and word of mouth. So referrals, clearly. So that could be from a doctor. It could be a referral from another health professional. It could be from an X-ray place. It could be from Facebook. Okay, so they will come online, they go onto the calendar, and then they book a session, pay for it. It's a 1-hour session. We will go through all of their story and try and work out what is the most important side effect that they're dealing with right now. And it could be a completely different message to when they first get in there, and an hour later, it's a very different side effect. But we can listen to all side effects, because I think the important thing you need to understand is not everything can be treated with medication. And there are so many things that can be treated. So don't be at home by yourself. There is someone there that will listen to you. And if you're not happy about financially committing to that appointment, we have a 15-minute discovery call where you can book a session, cost you nothing, and you can just talk to us and see if you like us.
That is great. Fabulous. That's a great opportunity for those who want to put their big toe in the water and find out what is the next best step for them. So what would your advice be for anybody who has just been diagnosed with cancer or who is currently living with cancer without any support?
And this is a common thing. So once you're diagnosed with cancer, you'll have a medical team and they will decide whether it's chemo, radiation, surgery, targeted therapies, immunotherapies. When they decide that, then you're put through the system to have that done. It is a really difficult time-wise and mentally. So we don't tend to ask people to contact us through that period unless they are completely ready for that process. But when you get home and it's finished and your medical team have finished and your cancer's under control, you then need help, because that's when it all starts to happen, because there's going to be physical issues, there's going to be nutritional issues, and there's going to be emotional issues. And there is help for you to do that. That is when you contact us. As soon as you get home and you wonder where to go next. And also you don't know who to contact and you're not sure to trust these people and which health professional. And I mean, use lymphedema as an example. Do I see a lymphedema therapist or a physiotherapist or an exercise physiologist? People don't know. And that's our job, to let them know who they should see first.
Awesome. So tip number one, what would that be? What is the most common thing that crops up for you with these clients that are in this whirlpool of lack of information?
Number one, I mean, I would say lymphedema, just even though we just coincidentally mentioned it, I think is probably the most stressful emotionally. Yes, it is a physical, but emotionally for people to deal with. Yes, there's fatigue and yes, there's pain and balance issues and, you know, depression and anxiety and so many other things. But people say living with lymphedema is one of their most stressful things.
Exactly. This is an issue that I deal with on an ongoing basis. And it's interesting how you are dealing with it. Would you like to share what you have done to help cover this gap?
Yeah. So interestingly, we've set up a health professional oncology training courses. And the purpose for that was for all of the health professionals in cancer that were doing amazing things in their clinics the last 10, 20 years. I wanted them to design a course to sell it to other health professionals, because everyone needs to do their continued learning points and to be upskilled. Plus, we're just going to make everyone a better therapist. But what happened in the process of starting it this year is people design courses for actual clients, for cancer survivors. So they thought, well, yes, we can teach the health professional, but imagine if we teach the cancer survivor about lymphedema. Imagine if they learnt what we're learning, but on a introduction level, so they can understand it. So what is the lymphatic system? And what happens when you eat certain things? And what happens if you exercise? So they can learn it themselves. And we think, with them buying these courses at a really, really cheap rate, which I'm excited that we've been able to do that. So let's give it to them at a really affordable rate. And then if you're taught it, then you're going to impact the changes, we believe, more than if you're told it. So if I tell you as a health professional, you should do this, you may not. However, if you took the time to do 3 hours of a course from an expert who specializes in the area and understands how to talk to you so in a language that you can comprehend, surely that's going to give you more impact. And I had a lady this morning that did confirm that. She loved the course and she said she will definitely tell her friends about it. So it's not just lymphedema. We've got a fantastic online yoga course designed by a yoga professional who's a health coach who is a cancer survivor. So she has a lovely understanding of what's needed. And each week, so you buy the 6 weeks, each week a new course comes in and you can do that. We also have one on stretching range of motion after surgery and radiation on the upper body. So that's what I think is going to be our new way of dealing and helping change people that are currently having side effects that aren't sure what to do.
Well, Karen, I think that's a wealth of information and knowledge for these clients to step up and feel confident about moving forward and knowing that their quality of life is going to be improved when they take the action. It's about compliance. When they don't comply, they can't expect to have another outcome. But if they do step up and take action, they will have a better outcome. So I think the work you're doing, Karen, is absolutely marvelous. Can I just ask you, I love that point that you made, that you said patients or clients could have that 15-minute free
discovery call.
Discovery call.
Yeah.
Is there any little PDF download or something that could take them before they come and have that discovery call to give them a better understanding? Maybe, is there anything like that is on offer?
Yeah, look, we've got two things actually on Foundation 96 that we put together. And one of them, when you get into the health consulting, so what services we have in the health consulting page, you can actually do what we call a logging of your cancer experience. So it's an online form, and you just write what cancer you had, when you had it, what treatment you went for, what doctors you were with, what your side effects are. Now, that form doesn't get stored at Foundation 96. It doesn't come to any of us. It is electronically generated through the platform, and then you email it to yourself. 100% confidential, because we don't need your private data. You need your private data. And the reason for doing that is in 5 years' time, when someone asks you this question and you can't remember what you had at that time because there's too much going on, then you can say it. I had this medication, I had this radiation, and these were the stages, and this was the grade, etc., etc. So that's one form. There's another form that you can go into, which is about just doing a little survey, and that is looking at what cancer it is, what your stage and grade is, and what your side effects are now, and it will give you a listing. It'll come up on the recommended health professionals that could help you. You then can take that and go into the directory, Google it, that's what the directory looks like, a little Google bar, where you can put, I need an exercise physiologist in my area, go, and you search it. That's all free, it's all online. And if you don't find one in your area, then you need to contact me and I have to find that person for you, because we're still looking for the best people in the world.
Oh, Karen, that is fantastic. Thank you so much. I think this is going to be invaluable for so many clients all over the world, as you so rightly say. So, Karen, from me, a huge thank you to those of you who are listening to the recording or listening live. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks so much for having me. See you soon.